What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. What's going on? It's Monday. We talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did y'all watch it last night? I know y'all was watching it last night because Kenya's name was trending again. Seems like Miss Diva is taking this damn season on her back because I don't know what else we be fucking talking about. I guess we be talking about Mike and Cynthia and Mike and Eva and Kandi and Todd and Nene and Pole Pimp and Marlo. They start off where they left off. The next day, really. You see Eva sitting down. I guess she's doing her interview. And then Portia sees it. I'm like, oh my God, they're getting a divorce. Oh my God, oh my God. So overall, the episode was okay. It wasn't entertaining at all. I was not entertained by any of it. It was really sad. Kenya shared a little bit more of what happened after the party, but like I said, word on the street is it was a mess at that damn charity. So her saying that he was really upset. I imagine that he was. Like I was telling Charles yesterday, Marc was probably really mad because a lot of people were around him. They saw how inept he was to get in front of people and actually speak in front of people and actually, organize this event about how to teach black men or young black men to be better and simultaneously treating your spouse and partner like shit. So I guess if that's the example that you want your young black men to follow, then let them join the Black Man Lab with Marc daily treating his spouse like dog shit on TV. So, that's what it is. He got up there, started doing all that stuttering shit. Kenya is a beauty queen who can speak very well under pressure and at any time she wants. You understand what I'm saying? And you have this man here he hates everything he hates about Kenya, he wishes he possesses. And he doesn't understand. So every time she gets in front of people, he needs to break her the fuck down. And that's what she was doing, to the point where Kenya, looking as stunning as she looked coming into that party, was still feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to embarrass, I need to look nice because I don't want to embarrass my man. So that is the beginning of the breakdown of the self-esteem. Now, granted, to me, I feel like both Marc and Kenya both bonded over trauma and recognizing those trauma wounds in each other. But when Marc was a little boy and he didn't get the attention from his parents that he wanted, he retreated. He learned how to be covert in his movements. Kenya, on the other hand, without having the attention from her parents, her father seemed iffy on his attention, but definitely from her mother, that she was more outward. I want to be on stage. I want to be out in the public and look at me, Miss USA. So there's the same wound, but a different approach. And typically those two types of people, they find each other to create a perfect narcissist codependent relationship. And that's exactly what we're seeing an example of right now. So Kandi and Cynthia are in the driveway of Kenya's house, and they're talking like, girl, bitch, you saw the way that motherfucker was acting yesterday? Because had it been me, girl, I'm out of here. I'm out of here with my baby in tow. Fuck this. That's what Cynthia said. Now, Kandi was like, haha, girl, me too. But no, we don't believe you, Kandi. You are not getting rid of that investment. But I do believe Cynthia, because Cynthia will run away from an altar on your ass. She ran from Leon. Remember when Cynthia ran from Peter? And her mother had to go catch her, and she was having trepidations about her and Peter. And she had a shirt on with Red Fox on the front, said, "You big dummy." Do y'all remember that? Oh my God, please tell me y'all remember that. So Cynthia is good. So Cynthia, now see, I'm never one to tell a bitch to break up with a nigga. But Cynthia is like me, bitch. The first sign of trouble, I'm out of here. Oh no, we're not doing none of this. That's why she's acting a fool about Mike Hill. Mike Hill, let's say Mike Stern, about Mike Hill. She acting a fool about him. And they in the damn driveway talking shit. Why are y'all doing like that? I don't like driving with people driving crazy, especially in little cars. Because if you hit my shit, it's a wrap for you, boo. And what happened after that? So, what happened? Oh, so Cynthia's like, girl, I would have left me in Brooklyn. Everybody's telling her to take her baby and run. Take your baby and get the fuck out of that relationship, girl. And Cynthia's like, girl, look, I know what it's like to waste time, basically, huh? Because the minute you 47 years old, bitch, you about to hit your golden years. You ain't got time to be running around after no big I was getting ready to really let Marc have it. Let me just shut up. But you don't have to be waiting around for a nigga who can't even talk, okay, beauty queen? Do you understand me? You don't have to do none of that shit. You too old. You are too old. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Kenya Summer Moore is too goddamn old to be dealing with a nigga like that about to be 50 years old. No. And I know women be dumb for years and ages and centuries and eons. I get it. But sometimes you just got to make the decision like, girl, no. So they get into the house. Kenya's upstairs. She crying, naturally. Kenya said he he pulled my card. What did she kept saying? He pulled my hand with that. What did she say? Well, basically, anyways, Marc wanted to pull a Cordell Stewart and make an announcement on before Kenya would make an announcement. So Kenya's like, oh no, nigga, you're not about to make an announcement before me. We're gonna be unison in this. You're not gonna make it seem like you want to divorce me. So they did it together. And they made a statement. Nene and Marlo was on the phone. Nene was like, girl, did you hear the blogs saying that the girl broke up with her man and this and that? Is it really a marriage? Is yours really a marriage? Are you a nurse taking care of an old ass man who keeps cheating on you, Nene? What is your role, girl? Is your marriage real? You've been married all these years and this nigga keeps stepping out on you. You been stupid for 23 years? Is that what we gonna say? Since you have the most tenure in marriage. So do we say you've been stupid for 23 years? Or do we say you have the most wisdom to tell you how to deal with a nigga for 23 years who don't treat you with honor and respect? Remember when Gray got on Real Housewives of Atlanta and told everybody that he made Nene, that he had to pay for Nene to make sure Nene could make it in this industry? Remember that? Remember that? Oh, okay. So we want to know, is your shit real, or is it some kind of arrangement that you have, an agreement that you have? You agreed to be treated like that? You agreed to that? For 23 years? Okay. Marlo said she gonna call Kandi and find out the tea. Later we find out Kandi said, bitch, I wasn't about to pick the phone up with you because I'm not about to sit with you while you take joy in someone else's grief. I'm not about to do it. Yesterday, I was watching Kandi, and Kandi, when I tell you Kandi she is a true Taurus in the sense of the word. You're not gonna get Kandi. Now, if Kandi don't fucking like you, cause I used to be cool with a Taurus. I know it. I know the clinical markings of a Taurus. Like her wanting the room, and then I want the best room, and you see the videotape, the footages of her saying she want the room. Kandi always gets the best room. Kandi said, I'm not talking shit about Kenya. Kenya is my friend outside of here. Cynthia is my friend. Those three women are friends this season, okay? This season, and what I mean by this season, I'm not talking about season of Real Housewives. I'm talking about season as in friendships, how friendships go. And we know that Kandi and Kenya have never had a problem. Even when Kenya had a problem with Kandi's friend Phaedra, she still never had a problem with Kenya. And as a matter of fact, when we all found out that Apollo was lying, and it was so weird because everybody believed a two-time convicted felon, somebody who makes his living by stealing the identities of people. Y'all believed him over Kenya. And then when he came out and said that he was lying, y'all went back and said, no, he's lying about that. So it was just so weird how everybody responded to that. But Kandi Burruss was the only one who said, Y'all don't think y'all need to apologize to Kenya for putting her through all this shit y'all been putting her through all these months? And this nigga's been sitting here lying? Huh? She was the only one. So you're not going to get anybody to talk about Kenya to Kandi. She's not going to do it. So she didn't even pick the phone. I'm going to call Kandi and find out. It was very typical watching those two women sit up there and gossip. Like, girl, did you hear? Let me call Kandi and find. It was all very, familiar. You know, the people are gossiping. So Kenya's sitting on the bed. She crying. She tells him everything that happened that night. That girl, what are you doing? Oh my God. Let me get from behind you. You going too slow. Bitch, I need to be going slow, but goddamn. Shit, girl. I felt like I was driving backwards, bitch. Retrograde is over. We going direct now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all clean your areas, clean your space. Get that negative energy out of your space. Ring some bells, clap some hands, get some frankincense, some Palo Santo, some something, and clean your space out. It's time to get your shit together. All right, let me get back to what I was talking about. So she started talking about Marc's been acting different. He was acting like an asshole. Everything I said, we saw it. We saw it last week. We saw what he has been acting. I said last week that I felt like he used her because she said that the nigga told her, girl, that he told her he didn't even want her to show up. So you want her to organize everything because you lied to us at the beginning of the season and told us that you helped Kenya get her business organized. But we see you can't even fit two sentences together, Marc Daly. So you can't tell me you organized Kenya's business. You can't tell me that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, but everybody believed him. It's funny, anything against Kenya, people believe. Anything for Kenya, people don't believe. I don't believe she's married. I believe Apollo was lying. But even after Apollo lied, that's just sticking in my head because even after he came out and he lied, y'all still didn't believe me. It's funny, you believed him when it was against her, but when it was in her favor, you didn't believe him anymore. So why y'all don't believe him now? Y'all believed him when he told the lie. Now y'all don't believe him, girl. Anyway, they called the Uber. They sit in the Uber. I don't know what the hell Marc said to her for the Uber man to tell her to get his ass out the car. Only thing I can think of is that he was threatening. It was threatening, like a threatening environment. The man didn't feel safe, in other words. So you sitting in a car with a man and a woman, and whatever this man is saying to this woman, you don't feel safe as a driver. So you tell him to get your black ass out of this car. Because I don't know what you telling Kenya, what you said to her, but this man wants you out of this car. So I don't know. Kenya has said that Marc has never hit her. So, and sometimes, let me tell y'all something. This is why it's really hard for people to understand when somebody has been verbally and emotionally abused, because we're used to seeing the damage, right? Verbal and emotional abuse, you can't see the damage. You only get a person telling you how it is. And in this world that we live in, we don't tend to believe women when they come to us with some shit, even when they have scars. We tend to try to ask her, well, what did you do, girl, for him to lose his temper? What did you do? What did you say in order for him to do that? What did you say that pushed his button so much that he had to get physically violent with you? Right? So we are used to seeing people with physical scars and physical, wounds. So when somebody tells you that somebody's being verbally abusive and you don't see it, it's very hard for somebody to believe. Y'all don't believe the people when they have scars and wounds. Y'all gonna believe this woman saying this guy was doing all this stuff. So it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for people to show compassion to somebody who's been verbally abusive until they actually, girl, I didn't know he was talking to your ass like that. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't know he was doing that. So even Kandi said that she has seen both sides of Marc. She has seen Marc when he was loving and caring and loved Kenya and all this other stuff. They showed some pictures of him showing her affection and things like that. But that's how narcissists work. Very charismatic. People love him. People think he's so smart and he's a businessman. But behind closed doors, the person that he attached himself to, whose supply that he needs in order to fill the void that he has, and that's why he attached himself to her. He has to break her down. You ever met a person who has to feel powerful by breaking someone else down? That's the only way they feel powerful. Men who are weak find women who are in a weak, vulnerable spaces, get with them, start, and understanding that this woman has a lot of things going for herself. So much so that everything that everybody loves about Kenya, Marc hates about Kenya. And you know why he hates it about Kenya? Because he doesn't possess it like Kenya. So what does he have to do? He has to break her the fuck down so she can no longer possess what he wants to possess from her. And he could take it from her. And then when he's taken and siphoned everything from her and has broke that strong woman down, when he has broke her down, y'all hit me with a cash app. You heard my damn thing come on. She has to be broken down. And when he's done breaking her down, guess what he does? He leaves. He leaves. And that's what happens. But you're not going to break this down. This woman organized all this thing, and you didn't even want her to come. You didn't even want her to show up. She said he goes for the jugular. And I wrote, she does too. I'm telling you, when everybody keeps saying, you know, this is her karma, this is her karma. When you're in something like that, the wounds that you have, and when you're in a relationship like that, the wounds that you have from previous relationships, from your caregivers growing up, you learn a fighting style. You learn how to protect yourself. You learn how to get a quick tongue. You learn either how to physically fight. There's something that you learn on how to relate to people. And some people learn how to get vicious with their tongues. Some people learn that. All right? So you meet somebody who's vicious with their tongue, right? But you attach yourself to them in a marriage or a relationship, then they start using that tongue on you. And you are like, wait a minute, this is something that I say for my enemies, not somebody who is supposed to be close to me. But lo and behold, you've married somebody who fights just like you. And in your world, you have positioned yourself to be a submissive person because of the relationship that you have with your caregivers. So you meet somebody like you who cusses people the fuck out just like you, who goes for the jugular just like you. But it's weird because this is the person who's supposed to be loving and supportive and encouraging. But wait, he kind of reminds me of my caregiver. So now I have to make sure I'm trying to please this person at all times. Y'all don't see the abuse that Kenya is going through. And just because, and what you got to understand, just because Kenya can cuss a bitch out, just because Kenya can get a bitch together, when she is in this relationship with this man, you're with your partner. You shouldn't go be in battle with the person, right? So it's a weird situation, and it's the same thing with her parents. This is somebody who's supposed to love me and care for me, and look how they talking to me. But then I go back into that child mode, right? She goes back to acting like a child. I need to please this person. I need to be submissive to this person. It's no different. What she's doing is just replaying the relationship. You remember Matt? He was abusive. Before that, Kenya shared the other night that she was in a physically abusive relationship. And although Marc has never been physically abusive to her, that verbal and emotional abuse it's harder to heal those scars. It takes a long time to heal emotional and verbal abuse. The physical abuse, the black eyes and the bruises and shit, all that shit heals. But when that shit heals, when you take the band-aids off, the thoughts of that way that person was talking to you, the thought that this person would want you to look like you were incapable in front of everybody, the thought of the person that you laid down with and had children with and made a decision to have a child, to go through IVF, to have a child, to make a decision, and this person is doing this to you in front of your enemies. Yes, everybody might think that it's okay, this is what she deserves, and maybe she's going to get a taste of her own medicine, but you should not get the taste of your own medicine from somebody who is supposed to love you. Do you understand me? That it's supposed to come from your enemy. That's supposed to come from an adversary. That's supposed to come from somebody who's acting like your friend but not. Like, you expect that from Nene and Marlo and all of those. You don't expect that from your spouse. But because everything leading up to this relationship is what she's used to. She's used to looking for attention from somebody. Here, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that person treating her like shit. Right? Her mom, her dad. I know that Kenya has a relationship with her dad, but her dad talks to her like shit. I don't care what nobody says. I don't like the way her dad talks to her. So this is this girl who found somebody who is strong. He has a little charisma. He's nice on the eyes for some people. Yes, and that's how they pull you in. They love bomb you, and then when they get you and have they hooks in you, now it's time for the breakdown. Let me break this bitch down. Let me make her look incompetent in front of her enemies. Let me make her, because I know she's going to do everything to please me, and I know that she knows that I'll act a motherfucking fool if she doesn't. So in order to keep the peace, guess what she's going to do? She's going to obey me. That's everything Marc is doing. It's fucking textbook, y'all. She's crying. They like looking like, girl, what did he do? He told you he didn't want you to come. Cynthia was like, girl, do you just want a divorce? I'm with Cynthia. Because at that point, you got to be like, girl, look, what are you doing? Every single one of them bitches on that show has acted dumb over a man. It's Kenya's turn. It's Kenya's turn. She was acting stupid about Matt when he was up there breaking her security cameras and breaking her garage doors and shit. Didn't she almost run over him with a car? An overly aggressive man who, what happens is Kenya, and whatever you want to say about Kenya and how she deals with her relationships with women, but she's very smart, she's very strategic, she's very type A, you know? And so when a man sees that, a weak man who masks as though he's super confident, because if you looked at Marc, you would think he was a very confident man. You would. Business owner, restaurateur, honey. Rats and rodents and everything else, honey. We saw your little purchased food grade. We saw that, Marc. Those can be purchased, girl. Okay? We saw all of that. He has all of this security, and he's secure, and a Leo and all of that. Look at me, adore me, right? All of that. But then you meet this woman who's just as strong, but she's goofy, she's flighty, she's airy. People like her personality, but there's a group of people who don't like her. And you see something in her that you like and you don't possess. So she finds these men who present to be secure and confident, and they're really insecure and inept. They really are. Matt, who have we seen Kenya with? Matt, and we've seen her with Marc. And both of these men, we've seen Matt's behavior. We've seen him break windows and act a damn fool. We've seen all of that. Him going online, talking shit to Kenya on his lives or whatever. We've seen all of that. But here is this man, Marc. We haven't seen him, but we that's why you see I don't give a F. You so mad, you so big and bad, you can't even cuss, because you do have an awareness that someone is watching you, and you cannot let that mask. That's why I don't want to be with these cameras, Kenya. I want to be able to abuse you without anyone. I want to be able to break you down and not have anything on camera. His face moving, all these fucking tics and stuff. He can't even keep his mask on. He can't even act like he likes the bitch. Everything you like, everything you hate about Kenya, you really like about her. And you like it so bad that you want to possess it. But you are incapable of possessing it. So you need to break her down in order to make yourself feel powerful. You need to go ahead and remove your testicles and cut your dick and flip it out and create your vagina. Create a vagina. Because you a bitch, Marc. You ain't nothing but a fucking bitch. And that's what you are. And Kenya, just like somebody said, when a bitch starts She called the girl and everything. Marc is obviously cheating on her, right? Remember when she sat at that table and asked that question? She said, I could have been talking about myself. You don't know the state of my marriage. So, and what's really sad is when she said what she said at that table in Toronto, do you know how many women was looking around thinking, nigga, is she talking about my man? So what kind of fucking relationships are these women in? Is she talking about Dennis? Is she talking about Paul? Is she talking about Todd, goddammit? Who is she she talking about Mike? Who's she talking about? She said, and I called the bitch too. So I called the bitch and I regret calling the bitch. But guess what you doing when you call the bitch, Kenya? You ain't leaving Marc. Because that's what you do. Instead of telling him, go send your text message to whoever the girl wants to continue to get fucked while you look at yourself in the mirror, you arrogant piece of shit. You haven't stopped communicating. And then did you catch Kenya? She said, one of the girls, bitch. What are you talking about? One of the girls. So Marc is more than one. She started crying about Brooklyn. I want my daughter to look at me and be like, you did that. You got out of the situation. At the end of the day, that's what you do for your children. You don't stay for your children. You get the fuck out for your children. You get healthy for your children. You get emotionally and mentally healthy for your children. You don't allow your child to see you in a miserable, fucked up, jive-ass relationship for the sake of the child. Don't do that. Don't put that burden on your child so when they get older, they be like, mommy, you stayed with him or you stayed with her and he was doing you like that? Because eventually as the child gets older, you start talking about, age appropriate things, right? You start talking about, you mean to tell me mommy did that to you and you stayed with her? You mean to tell me daddy did that to you and you stayed with them for me? And when they get old enough to understand adult relationships, then they be like, what? Bitch, that was dumb as fuck. What you stay for? And if you left, why you trying to be cool with the nigga now? He did all this shit to you? No. And for me, you did that for me? Don't put that burden on your child. Don't stay for no kids. Your children would rather see happy parents than miserable parents. Do you understand me? And don't waste your life with these people trying to break you down. Why the hell you want to be in relationships with people? Yes, you're going to have your problems. You're going to have your disagreements. You're going to have the way you see things are different. But when somebody is trying to break your spirit and break you down to the point where everything you ask them, they negate everything you say, they're not happy with nothing. And let me tell you what's going to happen. Kenya is in this pleasing mode. She got to please all her caregivers, right? She got to please him. She got to please him. I got to be submissive. Now this is her husband. So it's like a parental figure that you got to please, also with a husband that you have been trained by society to please. You got to please this person, right? Now you got this man. You got this man who is in your life, and now he's going against everything you say. You are never going to be able to please him. He's never going to be happy with anything you do. That's how he controls the situation. To keep you in a to keep you in that kind of mode, to keep you in that mode, he has to negate everything you ask him. He has to go against nothing is good. Nothing is good enough. You can spend $350 goddamn dollars on a Gucci tie. It's not good enough. And it's so not good enough, he didn't even want you there. You can plan everything, step and repeat, food, organize everything. And what you gonna do? Allow him to fuck everything up to make you once again look bad, like you change these seating arrangements. All of that's a way to control that girl. And you in this, I gotta please my parent, please my husband, please. You allowing that shit. It's really sad to watch a woman like that. But hey, let me tell you something. It happens to the strongest of women. It happens to career women, right? You got your career, you in this boss stance, and then you meet this man who comes off as confident and secure and able and capable and all of that. And you don't even know the motherfucker got a mask on. He hates himself. He hates everything about you that everybody loves about you. He hates it. So what is he gonna do? Break you the fuck down. And you do not stay for the kid. You do not stay for Brooklyn. If anything, you get your ass out of that shit for Brooklyn. And I'm like Cynthia. Do you just want to get a divorce, girl? Because, honey, we could go down to the damn fucking Fulton County Courthouse right now and just do this shit. Or whatever the fuck. But you know what? Wherever Kenya and Marc got married, they're not required to have a license in the United States. Now, for taxes and purposes like that, they're going to need to go down to the courthouse and get a license. If they're doing taxes and stuff like that, she's filing as married and stuff like that. But what they did down in wherever the hell they were, I don't know what kind of paperwork they do in whatever country she was in. Where was she? In Turks and Caicos? Wherever the fuck she was in. It's not required to do a business license, marriage license. It's not required. So I can't remember where she got married, but that's what it is. And that's probably why Nene and Marlo are like, is she really married? Can we go down and find some paperwork of somebody filing a divorce? Do you understand what I'm saying? She says the girls just hate her. They want to see her fail. I mean, we can look at the last 15 episodes and look at the viewers and the comments to see that people are really happy and reveling that Kenya is getting a taste of her own medicine. This is her karma. Her karma is to choose a person that she's supposed to love to treat her like shit. That's what everybody's saying. This is her karma, right? Like Dennis is Portia's karma. Like Greg is Nene's karma. Like Mike Hill and Peter Thomas, although I like Peter Thomas, that's Cynthia's karma, right? Paul is Tanya's karma. Because Paul was in that motherfucking bar talking to that lady. I don't give a damn what y'all say. And I don't give a damn how many stories Tanya tells. Because at first, Tanya said he didn't know who the bitch was. I don't even know who she was. Then later she said, he told me step by step what happened. He told me everything that happened. Girl, did he not remember or did he remember everything, Tanya? Which is it, girl? Because everybody gets a turn, as you see. Everybody gets a turn, bitch. So stay on this motherfucker long enough and see, don't your ass get a turn to be embarrassed by somebody that you decided to have as your partner to uplift, support, and encourage you. Because all these bitches have been embarrassed by a nigga on this show. All of them. So it's Kenya's turn this season. And stay on here long enough, don't you see, don't you get a turn, okay? She didn't know if she wants to go to Greece or not. PJ's going to Greece for the first time. Too bad she won't get to remember it. That's all I said, little PJ. She was like, do you want to smile? When they got to the airport, PJ was looking like, girl, just get me on this plane. I ain't got time for this. I'm trying to relax. Baby shark or whatever the fuck, okay? I got here fast, too. Look at the turkeys. There's 4 of them. I almost hit one just right then. Cynthia and Kandi get to the airport. They said, everybody, y'all be nice to Kenya. Marlo said, bitch, I'm not being nice to that bitch. I don't like that bitch. I'm not being nice to her. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And that's fair, because if I didn't like a bitch and y'all was, and we was going battling and we was in active combat, bitch, what ammunition do I have to use against this girl? Because we already said last week that Marlo and Kenya don't owe each other a motherfucking thing. So the fact that Marlo said, bitch, I don't know if I can be nice, it's on brand, it's on trend. So what, I mean, because I would have done the same thing, girl, like, what? I'm about to bring this shit up. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. As much shit as she brought up, she said Portia's marriage was fake. She knew, we all knew that Apollo's marriage was fake. The only thing, we knew that Phaedra put herself in position to be married to the person that was committing the crime so she wouldn't have to testify against her husband. Okay? We know that Phaedra, Apollo's dumb ass, was not the organizer and ringleader of that shit that he was doing while he got put in jail. Okay? All right. So you talked shit. We already knew that shit was fake. Okay. And who else has she talked about? Nene has called Peter a bitch. Who else has she talked about? I mean, you know, they've all said some things. I don't think that Kenya has ever called anybody's husband a bitch. But Kenya, so they should, like, bitch, if it was somebody else, Kenya would bring it up. And would she? Depending if the person was her enemy, right? Because you remember at the beginning of the season when Portia was being embarrassed by her soon-to-be spouse when she was losing her edges before she got married? You remember that? And remember, Kenya said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not, it's nothing for me to say. She's going through a hard time right now. Had Portia and Kenya been in active battle, what you think Kenya would have done? So Marlo and Nene is like, no, well, that's what she get, because you know what she did to Tanya? She traipsed the side bitch up to the damn restaurant. So no, we ain't being nice to that hoe. And that's just what it is. So she gonna get everything she deserves. And that's how they feel about it. So you got these two women, and then that's why when you get to Greece and you start trying to hug me and stuff like that, bitch, I already know what your tea is. Don't come over here. I don't want to have a conversation with you, Marlo. Get from behind me, bitch, with your knife. Get from behind me, right? They wonder, where's Kenya? Kenya don't show up. They're like, okay, well, I don't know. She hasn't called. So Kenya says she gonna bring the love of her life to Greece, and she brought Brooklyn and the nanny. I said, come on, bitch, you ain't gonna stop nothing, Marc. You ain't gonna stop nothing. Kenya already knows she's in the position that she's is as a woman. She's not gonna have much help, so she has a nanny. So good. Poor PJ and Brooklyn are both in Greece with their mamas, right? Portia says it's so much pussy in Greece, girl. Glad Dennis is not here. Let me tell you how much pussy is in Atlanta. Ready and willing in the produce aisle to make a nigga a meal at any moment of the day, girl. Them girls out there are scratching and clawing to get a man, honey. Right? They scratching and clawing in Atlanta. Scrounging, sitting under tables, waiting for a nigga to drop them a crumb in Atlanta. What you think Dennis is doing in Atlanta and you on the other side of the world, bitch? It's enough pussy in Atlanta. Trust and believe that. They get in there and choose the rooms. They play a little game to choose the rooms. It was cute. Portia runs and jumps in the pool. I thought it was the cutest thing. Portia's name was trending last night for a little while. Everybody was like, when did we fall in love with Portia? Portia has been, she's grown on me, because y'all know I used to give Portia the blues. She's still dumb. They all dumb at the end of the day. All of them bitches is dumb about a nigga. That's the same thing with Kandi. Kandi is such a smart businesswoman, and just like her mother said, she made lemonade out of lemons, because Todd Burris, girl, we was all looking at him like, even Marlo was like, does your mom know he's driving your Range Rover? That's my man. Does your mom know he's driving your car? Your mom know he doesn't have a job anymore because since he been fucking with you, he lost his job at Bravo. And I used to say all the time, Kandi is a smart businesswoman, but when it comes to love, you dumb as hell. But we don't know what Todd, because Kandi has said out of her own clenched teeth, Todd and Marc have a lot of ways. They both Leos. And we know that all the men are Leos, apparently. All of them was women. I don't know about Greg, but Mike, Marc, and Todd are Leos, according to the people. They have dinner at 8 o'clock. Cynthia goes into the room with Nene. They end up having a room next to each other. They go into the room and she's like, look, girl, I don't know why Cynthia thought it was a good idea to put arch nemesis together, but at the end of the day, if she believes that Nene would be able to give her advice because she's been through a divorce and all this other stuff, and Greg has embarrassed Nene before. So, girl, here's the one person who's been married to who has been dumb enough to stay married to the nigga who keeps embarrassing her for 23 years. Maybe you can give her some advice. And she was like, sure, I'm okay. Let me find a girl. We see what Kenya does, okay? Marlo, they sitting at the table. This is before Kenya comes out. I thought it was so fake when Kenya came out. They're like, oh, girl. And Marlo was like, girl, look at that coral. It looks good on you. Girl, I just had a marching band up and through your motherfucking wig line, and you brought your nephews to the front of my shit. Don't tell me I look cute, bitch. You know you don't fuck with me, and I don't fuck with you. But let me tell you how shady Kenya is. Kenya Moore, in the midst of all her bullshit, that bitch has a way to make sure, like, bitch, I'm dealing with a battle with my husband. I still got a hold on you bitches. I'm still watching you hoes, okay? They give a toast. Marlo gives a toast, and then Nene extends another switch. And she says to Kenya, you know, I'm really sincerely concerned or something if you need or something. And so Kenya was like, you know, at first Kenya was like quiet and we didn't know what she was going to say. And then she was like, well, you know, she starts crying again. And then they start, you know, they get around her and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of people online saying, you know, why are they giving her so much sympathy? And why are they being compassionate towards her? Because all of them understand what she's going through. You can hate someone, right? You can not like someone. And I guess that the disdain isn't deep enough for them to hold on to the shit. And that's actually a great character trait. Like, you know, not to the point where somebody is using you for your compassion, but for that you can find compassion for somebody even though you've had problems with them, right? Because you recognize what they're going through is painful and you feel sorry for them. So you can extend that, right? But then at the same time, the people who are extending you these things, you have really deep-rooted issues with them. So it's kind of hard to receive it, right? It's kind of hard to receive it and process it because you don't know what the angle is. Because, bitch, I've been so nasty to you. And here you are trying to be nice to me. I don't know. Because we've been real nasty to each other. So I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Cynthia has to get up and clean the dishes. That was part of her deal on how she got her room. She got to clean the dishes. And so she was like, and I'm going to leave Kenya and Nene here to fellowship. Nene was open. Nene was like, okay, well, I'm a fellowship. Wait, before that, Kenya goes around the table and thanks everybody for being supportive. Kandi and Cynthia, even you, Tanya, she says, and this and that, you know. And Portia, thank you, because Portia had sent her a text message. And Marlo, she didn't say Nene's name. I was like, ooh, Kenya, girl. And you already know. Even after that. Wasn't it after that? No, it was Kenya. No, Nene extends her switch. Kenya thanks everybody but her. Cynthia says, okay, I'm gonna go wash dishes and we're gonna fail. So Nene is even still open to the thing, but still I don't know what you really want to talk about, girl. And this is where I understand where Kenya was coming from, because Nene has a way of apologizing to people where she apologizes and then she gives you a but you did this and I think you would need to apologize to me. And that's where Kenya was like, I don't even want to get into it with her. I don't even want to make it about something else. You know, I'm not ready to talk to her specifically about anything that I'm going through. And I don't think it's a good time. So they start getting up. Kenya's like, I'm going to bed. I need to go check on Brooklyn anyway. And so they start getting up. And then Marlo was like, well, see, that's what I'm talking about, sisterhood. Marlo, you just want the tea. You don't give a shit. So we don't care about what you're saying. Who is that? Okay, I'm being nosy. So Tanya and Kandi tell Kenya, girl, look, she was trying to be nice to you. Just be nice. And then Kenya was like trying to explain. Kenya was being shady at the same time and understanding that Nene don't just want to talk. And I'm not comfortable talking to Nene about none of the shit I got going on. So I don't want to even have any exchanges with her, but I'll take her a piece of baklava. All right. She takes it to her. Nene is like, fuck that bitch already, just that quick. And that is precisely the reason why Kenya didn't want to sit down, because you extended your switch, right? You extended your switch, and then when I didn't want to take it, now you want to beat me with it, right? So now I know that is the reason why you extended it to me, so that's why I didn't take it. And that's why I didn't take it. That's why Kenya didn't take it, right? Because as soon as she wasn't allowed to, you know, get in there with Kenya, she was like, okay, well, fuck it. I don't have nothing else to say. I tried. I told you hoes. I tried. I did a solid for Cynthia. And she goes out. She takes the dessert to her. And Nene was like, no, I'm good. I'm cool. So I felt like Kenya was genuine in that moment, like to actually hand her a piece of cake and be like, you know what, or a piece of baklava and be like, you know what, I don't really want to talk about it right now, but I accept your invitation. Maybe by the time we leave, we can talk. That's how it should have gone down. She didn't even get a chance to do it, so, because she had already rejected her. So Nene is like, you didn't rejected me, you stunned me at the table, you rejected me, that's all you're gonna do. You're not gonna make me look like no fucking fool. So I'm out of here. Kandi was like, see, already, see, they can't even get it together. Kandi starts trying to talk to Nene. Nene was like, girl, whatever, she's right, I'm wrong, which I didn't understand. I was like, Nene, what the fuck is Nene talking about? But she was so upset at that point because you already rejected me twice. And now you're trying to get me to talk to this girl. I don't want to talk to her. I'm done. I don't even like her. I was doing Cynthia a favor. That's going to come back. That's going to come out. We see she starts walking down the street. Nene says, honey, yes, whatever. I fucked her man and stole her baby. I was like, Nene! Now I was like, that's the Nene I fucks with. That was so funny to me. She was like, girl, whatever. She act like I fucked her man and stole her baby. That shit was so funny to me. That was it for the episode, but we see next week Kenya's gonna be fucking with Cynthia about this wine cellar thing. And I don't know, I would be mad. I would be so fucking mad if I was Cynthia. Like, girl, okay, I'm selling wine, right? I'm selling wine. Do you think Kandi knows anything about cooking? She got a restaurant, right? Are you going to sit there and ask her about recipes and how to make something knowing damn well she's not no goddamn chef? This is something that Cynthia's marketing off of. She may not know wine. Honey, I sell wine. And it might do Cynthia some good to learn about wines. Now, the way that Cynthia and Kenya's relationship is, they do that to each other, right? They say little slick things like, girl, honey, while I'm praying, I don't want you to run over me. Like you threw me under the bus. I might smell like some asphalt. You know, that's their little relationship. And they're really good friends. So they got an understanding of how their relationship goes. But because everybody a lot of people do not like Kenya's behavior and how she relates to women, anything she says to anybody is going to be nitpicked and scrutinized. I don't even know how the scene went, but she was asking her questions about wine. Everybody brought it to Cynthia's attention. She was like, I know she was being shady, but then you got Cynthia thinking like, okay, well, why did you keep asking me about it? I would have been mad, and I would go like, bitch, don't do that in front of people. Don't act like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't do that. Like, we're not, and if you have that kind of relationship with your homegirl, then you can say that. But, everybody's going to be like, oh, she's so miserable in her relationship. She wants to do it. Somebody else, Nene did say that Kenya comes for Cynthia's business later on down the season. And this is, I guess, what they're talking about. So we're going to see how that goes. Overall, I know I was long-winded about Kenya and Marc, but it's really nothing that somebody has not seen. People have seen what we're witnessing. You're just now witnessing someone who, we've never seen Kenya in a type of relationship. We've seen her, King and Twirl came from Matt. And remember that she said that Marc didn't like the dogs, but obviously Brooklyn likes them. They in Christmas pictures with him and everything like that. But those dogs came from her last abusive relationship. Anyways, y'all, everybody gets a turn. Kenya, it's your turn. The girls are happy that you're going through this stuff. This is what you get. I don't have anything else to say about it. Anyways, y'all take care of each other, protect your energy, and let's get down in the comments. Peace.